Refunds are a typical feature of financial transactions, and they serve as a safety net for customers in the event that they are unhappy with their purchase or an error was made. Understanding the elements that influence the approval of a refund can help minimize feelings of uncertainty and irritation, regardless of whether the refund is for a product return or a service cancellation. In this section, we will examine the factors that are most important in determining whether or not your request for a refund will be granted. Compliance with terms and conditions. It is common for the seller or service provider to stipulate certain terms and conditions prior to the implementation of a refund policy. A few examples of these include the deadlines for initiating a refund, the requirements for returning a product, if applicable, and any fees that are involved with the return. Before submitting a request for a refund, it is important to carefully read over the terms and make sure that your circumstances meet the requirements that have been outlined. It is possible that your request for a refund will be denied if you do not conform to these criteria. Valid reason for refund. Making a request for a refund with a legitimate cause considerably improves the likelihood that the request will be granted. Some of the most common causes include obtaining a product that is broken or defective, having an experience with service that is not satisfactory, or being charged wrongly. In order to improve your case, you should provide evidence that is both clear and documented to support your argument. One way to strengthen your request for a refund is to include supporting evidence such as images of broken goods or conversation with customer service. Timeliness. Timeliness is an extremely important factor in the approval of refunds. Within a certain amount of time, the majority of refund policies stipulate that requests for refunds must be submitted. Should you choose to postpone your request beyond this time frame, the likelihood of it being granted may decrease. Take immediate action upon determining that a refund is required in order to guarantee that the deadlines that have been established are met. Communication with customer support. The process of requesting a refund can be made easier by interacting with customer care. When you successfully communicate your problem, whether through phone calls, emails, or online chat, you can increase the likelihood that it will be resolved more quickly. Customer service staff are frequently given the authority to handle refund requests and are able to offer helpful direction on how to proceed with the process. For the purpose of increasing the chance of a positive outcome, it is important to provide an explanation that is both succinct and complete. Documentation and evidence. The strengthening of your claim for a refund is accomplished by documenting pertinent data and presenting documentation. It is important to maintain a record of any correspondence that pertains to the transaction, as well as any purchase receipts and order confirmations. For concerns that are related to the product, evidence of faults or damages should be recorded using a photograph or video. Your claim will be more easily validated, and the review process will be completed more quickly if you provide comprehensive documents. Policy flexibility. When it comes to their refund policy, several vendors or service providers are willing to be flexible, taking into account exceptional situations or the loyalty of their customers. Please inquire about any flexibility or exceptions that may be applicable in the event that your circumstance does not fall within the typical limitations for refunds. It is possible to persuade decision-makers to grant your refund by offering persuasive reasons or demonstrating a history of patronage towards the establishment. Financial institution procedures. When you initiate a refund for an online purchase, the amount of time it takes to execute the refund may vary based on the banking institution that you use. Refunds are normally handled according to the protocols that are established by the financial institution or payment processor, which may include additional verification steps. Make sure you are familiar with the procedures for refunds that your financial institution uses so that you can prepare for any delays or needs that may arise on your end. Consumer protection laws. Make sure you are familiar with the consumer protection rules that regulate refunds in your jurisdiction. The rules in question safeguard customers from being subjected to unfair business practices and create minimum criteria for refund programs. It is possible to seek remedy through regulatory channels by utilizing consumer protection legislation in the event that you believe your request for a refund has been wrongly denied or handled improperly. There are a number of factors that determine the likelihood of a refund being approved. These include compliance with terms and conditions, the validity of your reason for requesting a refund, the timeliness of your request, communication with customer support, documentation and evidence, policy flexibility, procedures of financial institutions, and awareness of consumer protection laws. It is possible to improve your chances of obtaining a favorable outcome by gaining an awareness of these components and by navigating the process of obtaining a refund in a smart manner. It is important to remember to approach requests for refunds with clarity, vigilance, and tenacity in order to protect your consumer rights and potential financial interests.